Hey, so I have shiny object syndrome and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So, shiny object syndrome is characterized by getting really excited about something and then getting distracted by something else and completely ditching the previous thing. It is often characterized by long, unchecked to-do lists, many started and uncompleted hobbies, different kinds of enthusiasms that are super intense and then change. So say you're really into, I don't know, remote control cars one day, and you buy all of the stuff for the remote control cars and you get really into it and you go to some meetups, and then all of a sudden you don't touch those cars anymore at all because now you're into woodworking. So that would be shiny object syndrome. And it is something that has plagued me for a very long time. And growing up, I didn't ever really know where it came from. I just thought I would call myself spacey or, I don't know. I didn't even really think about it, to be honest. But as I got older, I realized I had a lot of unfinished things. I have a lot of half completed manuscripts, for example. So as a woman in my 30s, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I also have PTSD, which often some of the symptoms of PTSD do manifest similarly to ADHD. So I think that my version of shiny object syndrome kind of comes from those two things. Some people believe that shiny object syndrome is related to a childhood need for the next shiny new toy, and that could be partially to do with it. I went to a wealthier school and I was low middle income, and a lot of the kids would always get the fad new toys, the Furbies, the Tamagotchis, the new Barbies. And my parents didn't want to spend the money on that. And now that I'm an adult, I realize that you don't need the fad new toys. My parents were totally in the right with what they did. I'm not upset at all. But I do think that I had some envy about what the other kids were getting. So I did want that shiny new toy. And now that I can afford to do whatever hobby I want, sometimes I do think that that's part of it. But I think the bigger thing has to do with my ADHD and my PTSD. And what I mean by that is with both of those syndromes, sometimes we get really overstimulated and our brains just want an easy way out, an easy way to find, comfort and calm. So when something gets really stressful, like you've written 60 pages of a manuscript and you get writer's block, instead of kind of pushing through that, you're like, I think I'm going to take up crochet, and you pivot. So I did that a little bit with these videos. I started them completely without any planning or any forethought because one of my friends was doing it and I thought, wow, that's exciting. And I already had all these writing goals. I already had my 2025 goals, and then I just started making videos. And that is why I almost quit this channel and I almost quit doing my videos. But then I thought, I actually do have some really valid things to talk about, but maybe I need to tone it back and stick with this challenge that I have given myself, and also stick with my writing goals, also stick with my other 2025 goals. But I'm just not going to give so much energy to this channel that I'm not giving energy to everything else, because it's really important to me. This is the year that I stick with things. So I am doing this challenge. I am completing this challenge, but I am also sticking to my writing goals, and I'm also sticking to my relationship goals and my spiritual and my physical goals. So shiny object syndrome be damned. I am going to be successful at something. I am going to be consistent, and I'm going to, be on here as much as I can. And I am going to stick with my writing goals, and I am going to get those to-do lists checked this year. That is going to happen. So thanks for sticking with me. If you have any advice, if you know anything about shiny object syndrome and ways to deal with it, please comment below, like and subscribe. Give me all of your feedback. One thing that I do know about shiny object syndrome, about ADHD, and about that overwhelm that your brain gets with ADHD and PTSD is that self-regulation is super important. So I am doing yoga and meditating and sitting in my sauna, and all of these times of intentional reset and grounding are super helpful with this and all of the other things that I have going on in my very busy life. So If you have any more advice for me, I really, really invite you to share. And thanks for sticking with me, guys. I'll see you next time.